Hi, 7th grade. Welcome to lesson 4.3, Simplify Expressions. By the end of the lesson, I want you to be able to say, I can use properties of operations to simplify expressions. Solve and discuss it. How can the tiles below be sorted? I want you to put the tiles into different types of groups, and we will talk about what types of groups they could go in. Pause the video, and we'll look for participation. Okay, some groupings that I see are there could be a group with fractions, because we have 3/8, 1/5, 1/2, 2 3/5. There could be a group with decimals, and that could be like the -2.1, 4.25, 0.5, -0.5, 2.1. We could group them with like terms. So the ones with the x's could go together, and the ones with the y's could go together. And then the constants. Constants are numbers that are just numbers, they don't have any variables together. Okay. Would sorting the tiles with positive coefficients together and tiles with negative coefficients together help to simplify an expression that involves all the tiles? Explain. Well, putting -2.1y and -0.5x together, would that even make sense? Are they like terms? -2.1y and positive 0.5x. It doesn't make any sense to put them together because they're not like terms. So we couldn't be able to combine them anyways. So just because they're negative, oh, I think that one is supposed to be negative. Yep, I hope someone caught that. Just because they're negative does not mean they're like terms. Remember, like terms mean they have the same variable or they're both constants. Example number 1. A teacher used algebra tiles to model -2c plus 3c minus 5 plus 4c plus 7. Step 1, write an expression by grouping like terms together. So they took all the c's and put them together. So we've got -2c, positive 3c, and -4c all get brought down to be next to each other. Remember, that's the commutative property. Commutative means change order. We can change the order as long as we keep the signs. And then they group together the constants. Constants are just numbers, so -5 plus 7. Now we can add those together. -2 minus 4 plus 3. They showed you visually lining up the negative ones on top and the positive ones on bottom. Well, a negative will cancel out a positive, and we're just left with -3c, which we would know that because -2 minus 4 gives me -6c. We can bring down the positive 3c. -6 plus 3 is just -3c. Same thing, they lined up -5 at the top and positive 7 on the bottom. A negative cancels out with a positive, and we're left with positive 2. But you should also know that -5 plus 7 is 2. So our simplified expression is -3c plus 2. Remember from last lesson that this expression and this expression are equivalent. The point of today's lesson is to find the simplified expression. I mean, you can't simplify it anymore. -3c does not combine with positive 2 because they are not like terms. We have a term with a variable and a term that's just a constant. Try it. Simplify the expression -6 minus 6f plus 7 minus 3f minus 9. Okay, first thing I like to do is group them. So I'm going to circle all the ones that should go with negative 6f. So you get negative 6f and negative 3f. Nothing else combines with them because nothing else is f's. But then we have negative 6, positive 7, and negative 9. Those all can be combined together because they all are constants. So I'm going to rewrite it using the commutative property, so change the order. Start with negative 6f. They already have my negative 3f there. Then next comes negative 6. They already have the negative sign, so I'm just going to put 6 plus 7, and then they already have the negative again, minus 9. So all we did was change the order, put the f's together and the numbers together. Now we're going to solve. Negative 6 minus 3 gives me negative 9f. Negative 6 plus 7 minus 9. Well, negative 6 plus 7 is positive 1. Positive 1 minus 9 is negative 8. They already have the minus sign there, so I don't need the negative. How do you decide in what way to reorder the terms of an expression when simplifying it? We reorder the terms by putting like terms together. So if they have the same variable, they go together. If they're constants, they go together. Example number 2. Combine like terms with rational coefficients. Simplify the expression negative 3 minus 1/3 x plus negative 4.5 minus 1/5 x. Now this is the same thing, but we've got some decimals and some fractions. So the first thing we're going to do is look for our like terms. So I have a negative 1/3 x and a negative 1/5 x. They put those two together. Then I'm going to look at my constants, negative 3 and negative 4.5. They put those together. Remember, we can change the order as long as we keep the signs. If it's positive, it stays positive. If it's negative, it stays negative. So in order to combine 1/3 x minus 1/5 x, we need a common denominator. The common denominator between 3 and 5 is 15. So the first fraction I multiply by 5. And the second fraction I multiply by 3. So that gives me 5 over 15 minus 3 over 15. Remember, you keep the denominator and subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. Next, negative 3 minus 4.5. Well, you can just plug that right into your calculator. I get negative 7.5. Can't simplify this anymore because one is an x and one is a constant. They are not like terms. Let's try it. Simplify each expression. All right, I see 59.95m, so I'm going to underline that, meaning I'm going to underline everything that has an m. Those red underlines are like terms. Then I'm going to circle negative 30. What else should be circled? Positive 45, because those are constants. So now I'm going to rewrite this, 59.95n plus 7.95m. It's supposed to be an m, Ms. Trustinger. And plus 9.49m. Now I'm going to write minus 30 plus 45. All right, now I'm going to combine my m's. So I get out my calculator. I take 59.95 plus 7.95 plus 9.49. That gives me 77.39 m. Don't forget to bring along the m. Then negative 30 plus 45 is just positive 15. Now we can't simplify this any further because one term has an m and the other term is just a constant, so they do not combine together. Next one, negative 0.5p. What else should I underline? Positive 1/2 p and positive 2/3 p. So I'm going to rewrite this, putting all of the p terms together. So negative 0.5p plus 1/2 p plus 2/3 p. and then the negative 2.75 just comes after. There's no other constants, so there's no other like terms with negative 2.75. Now I have to combine negative 0.5, 1/2, and 2/3. Run into an issue because there are some decimals and some fractions. Because of this 2/3, I'm going to change them all to fractions because 2/3 is a repeating decimal. It's 0.666 going on forever. So I'm going to change them all to fractions. So this actually changes to negative 1/2 p. Now, just like before, I need a common denominator. Common denominator between 2 and 3 is 6. So I'm going to multiply this one by 3 over 3, this one by 3 over 3, and this one by 2 over 2. So that leaves me with negative 3/6 plus negative 3/6p plus 3/6p plus 2/3 p minus 2.75. Negative 3/6p plus 3/6p cancels out. I'm left with 2/3 p minus 2.75. Combine like terms with two variables. Simplify the expression 4a minus 5b minus 6 plus 2b minus 3a. So again, they turn the colors blue. We can underline in blue. So 4a gets underlined with negative 3a. Make sure you keep the sign. Then in red, negative 5b with positive 2b. And the negative 6 just gets brought down by itself because there's no other constants. 4a minus 3a gives us 1a. Negative 5b plus 2b gives us negative 3b. And then again, the negative 6 just gets brought down. Can't simplify that any further because they are not like terms. So that's our final answer. Last try it. Going to underline the common terms, like terms. We've got a positive 5g and a negative 10g. Then we have a positive 4k. Are there any other like terms with 4k? No. And then we have our negative 3.7 with positive 1.1. So I'm going to use the commutative property to regroup these. With the negative 10g, we know goes the 5g. 4k is by itself. And with the 11.1, we have the negative 3.7. I'm going to put negative 3.7. All right, now that I have them rewritten so that like terms are together, I'm actually going to combine them. 5 minus 10 gives me negative 5, so that's negative 5g. 4k gets brought down, because can't combine it with anything. And grabbing my calculator, negative 3.7 plus 11.1 gives me positive 7.4. So the simplified expression is negative 5g plus 4k plus 7.4. So the key concept, when simplifying algebraic expressions, use the properties of operations to combine like terms. So that property is mainly going to be the commutative. To simplify the expression below, group like terms. So we put negative 3.5x plus 5.3x together. Then I look at my y's, 3/10 y minus 2.75y together. And lastly, my constants, just the numbers. Negative 3/8, positive 5.25, and negative 12 go together. Then you add or subtract, get them to be either decimals or fractions to combine like terms and get your final answer. All right, 7th grade, let's say it. I can use properties of operations to simplify expressions. Have a great day.